Good
Good evening.
Vietnam, no?
Welcome to the Absolute Buggery podcast, where we speak, we shout about pop culture
We talk
uh,
shit for
for
2 to
hours.
2.5 hours for no reason.
Yeah. And welcome, chat. Thank you, Wallo. Let's go.
Yeah, well, how's
Uh,
it gone?
I'm tired, frustrated, stressed, and you know how you doing?
I woke up.
Well done.
Not specifically like
Very,
this, but I woke up.
very proud of you.
Yeah, I made progress.
Make progress. Um, Yeah, so tonight we're gonna do a bit of a potluck. We're gonna be speaking about the things that happened.
Yeah, so we
Like,
discussed in
speaking
the
about
past.
one of the things that
Well,
happened.
there's lots of things to actually talk about, and I kind of just couldn't come up with much.
Oh no, no,
Because all he had was one thing in his head.
I am blinded by something. Also, this is going to be another mukbang episode because I'm only getting to eat now.
Sounds normal. No, so we discussed in the past that at least once a month, at the end of every month, we want to discuss sort of the news about pop culture that has come out. And
Yeah,
I don't know, I'm very excited. There's quite a lot happening in August. I definitely know that much, and I'm going to have to try to keep talking while Connor eats rice. No, so, okay, so I want to give it to you when you eventually don't have food in your mouth. Something I know you definitely wanted to talk. There's two aspects, two things you wanted to talk about, I know. I just gotta figure out which fucking one of these tabs it was.
you throw it up and I'll start talking. Oh,
Nope.
nope.
Nope. Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Kind of.
There you go.
So,
How are you feeling?
dude, I watched that trailer 4 times in a row when it came out.
So we all know that Connor's favorite Marvel character or superhero in
My
general.
favorite superhero
Superhero, yes.
is Spider-Man.
Is Spider-Man.
I love him. I love him so much. I love Tom Holland. I love the MCU. Fucking go, No Way Home. I'm so keen, dude. I really,
I
really.
think one thing that caught a lot of people, the easiest who's been watching Spider-Man for many years, was the fact of the inclusion of old characters and the old cast itself.
Dude, Alfred Molina
As
coming
Doc
back
Ock.
as Doc Ock. He was the best Doc Ock. And he's going to continue to just be the best Doc Ock.
Oh, there's something I want to mention here. Do you want to know how old Alpha Melina is? To the point of Tom Holland as a young child before the teens loved watching Doc Ock or watching the Spider-Man movies with Doc Ock in them. And then he finally gets to play Spider-Man and fight against him in a film.
As well, Blacklock says in the chat there, hello, Peter.
Yes.
But something that somebody had brought up, right? You know, we still don't know if we're gonna get to see Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire as other Spider-Men. But we've got no confirmation, and I mean it's becoming less and less of a sure thing that they're actually gonna be there. But we don't know if he was speaking to Tom Holland.
To which Spider-Man he was referring to.
Which Spider-Man he was talking to, because he could have been talking to
Any
Tobey
of them.
Maguire.
Yeah. Or he could have been confused as to which one he was talking to himself and just referred to Spider-Man as himself. I think... Peter Parker as himself. But I think one of the big things, there was a moment in the trailer that people were going on about. There was a massive explosion where you see Tom Holland's Spider-Man come out of, and then they zoom in on certain parts of the explosion where you can see, and if you squint really hard at it and you try really hard to believe that it's true, that there are other Spider-Man figures within that explosion.
Well, there's another one with that same explosion where the sand kicks up.
Yeah. So
a lot of people are theorizing that that's Sandman from Spider-Man 3. Look, we know the Venom isn't gonna be there.
No, Venom's busy doing his own shit, being, a symbiote. But I don't know. There was a lot going on. I mean, we saw the original Green Goblin
Pumpkin Bomb
pumpkin bomb come rolling in, which came from the
and
original
and
Spider-Man series.
Willem Dafoe's laugh.
Yes. So I think a lot of it has the inclusion. I know for a fact Electro's in there.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be returning back. So
Jamie Foxx
definitely Jamie
as it.
Foxx. Yeah, Jamie Foxx is Electro, but inclusion of all of these, we can see all of the villains from the original movies are being included in this film. What is it? Is it a far stretch to say so will the Spider-Man?
Yes, because we didn't know about Willem Dafoe. We knew about Alfred Molina because he had actually said something. But I mean, Toby Maguire hasn't said anything, and when Andrew Garfield was asked, he straight up denied it. So it does kind of feel like maybe they're not going to. Maybe they want to focus solely on this Spider-Man. I'm more excited to see how they make up the Sinister Six because that's what it seems like's happening. I mean, Doc Ock, Green Goblin, what looks like the Lizard in one of the shots, Sandman in another one of the shots, and then Jamie Foxx's Instagram post that he posted and then immediately deleted like last year.
Yeah. So with that one, I've actually gone and googled the cast for Spider-Man: No Way Home. It has included um, Jamie Foxx in the listing,
Mm. So
returning
I'm
as
really
Electro.
certain that Jamie Foxx is going to be Electro in this movie, but I
And
don't think we're going to see Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man.
yeah, I think after the issue that if I'm not mistaken, it was Fox or Sony had with Andrew Garfield and them removing him as Spider-Man, hence why they continued through a new Peter Parker being
No, but
Tom
the
Holland.
new it wasn't Sony. Sony fucked up with the Andrew Garfield movies. Marvel then came along and said, "No, we want to add Spider-Man, and we're gonna cast this kid."
No,
So
so
it's
originally there was an explanation as to why Andrew Garfield himself was no longer going to be Spider-Man. There was a request from Sony to send him to a Samsung event for where he was supposed to represent Sony and Spider-Man and stuff like that. And I think he was there for like less than 10 minutes, and he just left. No explanation, no anything like that. So I think a lot of it came down to there still being bad blood in the water,
but
possibly.
Disney can just keep throwing money at Sony because that's how they're getting through this Spider-Man deal because Sony still owns the Spider-Man property.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot to occur, a lot to go on, but
But it's
I'm
gonna.
very excited.
I'm excited. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't wanna go into what the uh or the like Emergency Awesome and New Rockstars and the guys who break these down as a job. I don't want to retread all of that, but I mean, it seems cool, and I'm very very hyped. Especially, I guess another thing that we can speak about on that is the inclusion of Doctor Strange.
Yes, and well, the full inclusion of pretty much the multiverse of madness starting from
Hmm.
the Loki and now from
Well,
what's
actually,
just occurred or what we see
Multiverse of
occurring.
Madness, the seeds of the Multiverse of Madness were planted back in WandaVision.
Well, yeah, so I'm saying like the inclusion of that, but also a big part of everything that's going to be happening is because of what Doctor Strange tries to help us or help Spider-Man do now.
I don't think so. I think that it's going to be a lot bigger than this.
I guess we'll just have to watch and find out.
Because I think it's going to have to do a lot with Nexus beings and them now having like two Nexus beings in one universe, which is, as from Loki, isn't really a thing. It's but we're branching. We're getting very close to the multiverse now, and we're about to take our first full main MCU movie step into the multiverse, where we've seen it with Loki and with a little bit with WandaVision and Scarlet Witch having the Grimhold, I think it was called. And now we're actually taking a step into the multiverse, and that's going to continue into Multiverse of Madness, and then Quantumania when that eventually comes out, and Kang actually becoming an Avengers adversary.
And I think another thing that was very exciting about, or a big problem with Spider-Man, initial statements were made that they were not going to release a Spider-Man trailer. So this is a theory that is currently out there, that they weren't going to release a Spider-Man trailer because this is the first one they wanted to just make the movie on and leave everyone in suspense without a trailer.
I don't know because the trailer leaked, so I think that I
I
don't
think
know.
there was an intent at first. They had
I I,
made the trailer and then decided not to use it.
I don't know because that you know I think Marvel were just trying to blue ball as many fans as possible.
Well, that's where everything comes in, because they first stated that no, they weren't going to release one. Then somehow it leaked online, and
Check, and then the next
trying
day.
to save themselves, they ended up releasing it, if I'm not mistaken, the following day or the day after that, after the initial leak was done. So a big part of internal conspiracy going on there.
I just want to go and have a look there. I haven't seen anything on um them saying that they weren't going to release a trailer because that's very unmarvel like to, not just not release a trailer. But it's out. I've watched it many times.
And
Um,
you have got your Spider-Man boner going.
Dude. But currently it's a Shang-Chi boner, but I can't go and see that until the end of the month. So, uh, yeah.
Oh no, that's well, making a very exciting segue. Connor, now I've got to fucking find it. There you You
Dude,
know,
I
we
have
are absolute professionals at this. Do not forget. So the second release of the Shang-Chi trailer occurred in the beginning of August or mid-August, and the final release of the actual movie itself on
was
Friday. And Connor still has not been able to watch the movie,
no, I can't go and watch it until the end of the month. I am incredibly frustrated by that.
and incredibly broke.
That's why I can't go see it.
No, so
Um,
I watched the trailer, the second trailer, I think yesterday, and the first trailer had nothing on the second one, in my personal opinion. There was
I've
so much being released in terms of information. There was a lot more in terms of the plot hooks and storylines and stuff that are going on there. It was a lot more exciting than the first one.
I have not watched any more trailers for Shang-Chi. I'm going to stew in my own juices until I can actually go and watch them.
Well,
But from
spoilers, Con.
no.
No, there is a partial spoiler. You do see the official use of the 10 rings
Oh no, that was
as
in the first trailer as well. They've
more than once though.
yeah.
Like it's
Uh
this trailer mainly focuses on the actual use of the 10 rings
Ring.
and
Hence
more
why I have not
backstory.
gone and watched the movie. But you see, this becomes so much more difficult to do when the this when I say this, I mean the podcast when we actually have to leave our houses to go and consume content.
Because
But
now the fact that it has actually been released, so in order for us to have a full view,
we have to go and
watch it. So a big thing that I'm looking at the cast here, and they've actually still got Ben Kingsley, Trevor Slater, which from the Iron Man movies was the person impersonating, and I'm gonna
the
not
Mandarin,
say, yeah,
the
not gonna say the
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian, the Mandarin, and I think the another exciting bit is this is like the first or full explanation of what the
The Mandarin.
Mandarin is and how they function and what is their purpose,
Mm.
because we sort of get a side show given to us in the previous films, or little snippets, tidbits that we've spoken about in the past. But here in Shang-Chi, it actually gets fully explained, therefore it gives a lot of more information to
But
past movies.
I think that Ben Kingsley, it's gonna be more of a reference to Long Live the King, because he's not, to the current knowledge, he's not at all part of the Ten Rings, or has anything to do with the Mandarin. Because you can actually just, if you look, uh, my hand doesn't. I'm trapped in this box. But on the on the poster, you can see the Mandarin. I mean, he looks the same age as Simon Liu,
Yeah,
as Shang-Chi. But I think it's that Ben Kingsley's edition is going to be, um, it's going to be a reference to Long Live the King and him not being the actual Mandarin.
but I think this is something that you're definitely gonna have to want to have one session, one podcast episode just talking about.
Or 5 seconds of me just spinning around in my office chair going, "Let's fucking go!"
Yeah, pretty much. We can do sort of like a pre-recording of you before you go watch the movie, and then the official podcast afterwards, where it's pretty much just the same thing. But what I can tell you
An
so far is
hour of
that
me going, "Let's go!"
when you finally
I'm,
get a
I'm,
chance to watch this, knowing that when we get paid, when we can go watch this, it will not be too long after that that Spider-Man No Way Home gets released as well. It gets released
well,
21st of
we're
December
gonna,
2021.
yeah,
So for
but
those of you who love Christmas movies, Marvel is definitely one.
oh, that's my Christmas present.
He
Uh,
turns to his wife and asks.
but yeah, I mean, I'm from all the reviews coming out, people are saying that this is like the Marvel movie to see. They're saying it's the dopest like they have seen, and it seems really cool. And I'm glad that Wong is around.
So another big piece to remember about Shang-Chi and the character himself is, again, he's not a person with massive abilities.
Mm.
He doesn't have powers. He's not.
Well, until he somehow gets the 10 rings,
Yeah,
like a man.
well, the Ten Rings themselves give power, but he himself is just a normal man. It then also takes you
No,
back.
he's not. He is a kung fu master.
Yeah, still, he's human. Can I say that? Would that make you happier, Connor? He's human. But there was a reference to this because apparently its beginning in the box office as of the first release made the exact same, or did just as well as Iron Man 1 did when it first released. Which might not seem as much now compared to a lot of the Avengers and so forth like that, but it's still a big stepping stone for a character start.
Yeah, a character that the large majority of people are not gonna know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no one really understood Iron Man or Marvel's cinematic universe up until Iron Man was released, and they continued with an actual storyline, being Phase
But
4 doing the same thing.
but you see, they've been slowly doing this. They've been introducing more and more like niche characters. So Doctor Strange was huge, right, in the
Yes.
comic community, but then they decided to bring out a Doctor Strange movie.
But you see, like with all of those, they introduced the character in a sole movie first,
Hmm.
and then put them into a major league movie,
Well, except for
included
like Black
with.
Panther.
Well, by
Black
that
Panther was
point, yeah,
introduced in,
was in Civil War,
hmm.
yeah. But I mean, not as part of just being introduced in the Avengers. Avengers Endgame, out of nowhere, Shang-Chi comes with the Ten Rings and decides to start a fight. That sort of things doesn't happen. So this is kind of like the starting stepping stone of the second half of continuation of Marvel. Knowing that a lot of, I mean, with Tony Stark being dead and all of that, that sort of generation, the first half generation, is slowly starting to finish off, but the second generation needs to continue now. So I think,
I mean, it's not only Tony, it's Nat, it's Steve.
well, yeah,
You know,
with Chris saying that he's not signing on another contract and he's ending Captain America
I mean,
for himself. but now
Like
allowing.
I don't think he's. It's not that Captain America's over. It's that Steve Rogers is.
Yeah, well, especially the way they ended. So I think this is like a big stepping stone, even if it's only done as well as Iron Man 1. It means it's just going to get better from here,
Mm.
which I think is very exciting. And
Yeah,
for
and I
those,
agree that bringing starting the next. Sorry, I'm just trying to
hide your shit.
make
It's
sure
hidden.
that cats don't eat my leftovers. Uh, Starting the next round of Avengers because
Yeah,
like we're gonna have the Marvels and the new Miss Marvel movie, and Clint is getting a series, and there's all the implications at the end of Black Widow. There's a lot happening. There's a lot going on.
yeah. So I think very exciting. Definitely something we need to try and watch as soon as possible. As soon as we can afford it, we need to go.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Well, I mean, dodging spoilers like anything, eh?
Well, you can't host a show full of spoilers and tell people that you're going to need to dodge them. If they come up, they
Guys,
come up.
I know. We go. Oh, spoiler warning, guys. But like, I don't want this one spoiled for me. Like, I hate spoilers, but I'm so hype on this movie. I
As soon as Endgame had ended, and as soon as that phase of a Marvel had ended, the biggest talk out of your mouth was the continuation of Spider-Man and Shang-Chi. I know for that. I know that for a fact. So I know you're very excited. I can see you bumping your desk all over the place with your knee right now.
I am so keen. I want more Marvel because,
Because Marvel.
and I mean, we're gonna have another Marvel episode this week, and then I'm gonna have to convince Talora not to say anything about
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi because I know
Yeah.
she's gonna have it already.
So spoilers for anyone who doesn't know what we're doing next week.
Oh yeah, boom, people. It's Marvel Phase 2 tomorrow.
Yes.
Not tomorrow.
No, next week. Jesus. I want to start tomorrow already. No, next week we're doing phase 2. So for any of those who enjoyed phase 1, come and join phase 2 is starting next
And
week.
and we're gonna hopefully do it on Saturday next week.
Again, time, it's either Saturday or Sunday, one of the two. We'll pick one depending on the scenarios.
Yeah.
So moving on to one that I don't know if you have found out about. Well, okay, I'll go to the one that you and I have actually discussed. Because recently my wife and I had watched The Accountant.
Oh
And
yeah.
you had brought to me brought to my attention that they
there's
are working on The Accountant too.
yeah.
So for those who don't know, The Accountant follows an autistic kid who couldn't really deal with a whole bunch of stuff. His father then trained him to overstimulate himself so that when he's not stimulated, he's fine. He ends up becoming the way he deals with things. He's pretty much
With a gun.
yeah. He can fight, he can shoot, he does all of that shit to sort of chill himself out. But he's an accountant character. Ben Affleck playing Christian Wolf, with Anna Kendrick playing Dana. That's the one. I thought it was a fantastic movie. My wife loves it. She loves helping special needs and stuff like that. So big thing for her was enjoying it, that she actually loved this movie, and the fact that the second one's coming out is really exciting.
Yeah. It's like I watched the Nobody recently with oh, shit, I had his name. Bob Odenkirk. And that's a similar thing. It was a dude who he was just like whenever he said no, he was in the army, but he was this like it was like an accountant or something like that. But it turns out that what that means is that he's the last person. He's an auditor, which means that if something's fucked up, he goes and he sorts it out, and it's not in a bookkeeping way.
No,
So
it
it's
is. Well, it is. It could be a John Wick version of a bookkeeping way, where he will
well,
kill you with the book.
it did have some John Wick influences, and another John Wick chapter 4 is being worked on.
No, so is this going to be one of those? Really, another one?
No, there's actually a plan for the John Wick movies, and I'm all in because I love the lore of the John Wick movies. It's so dope, so cool to see all the like this society that's under society, and like they trade in coins and
It's
blood. It's
it's a society hidden but right in your face sort of thing. Like the best way to hide is in plain sight sort of situation.
yeah,
How you set up a hit and you just check 20 people checking their phones, turning on you and chasing you. 20 random
yeah.
people on the street. So I don't know. I'm really excited. I enjoyed. I watched this one a while back and then watched it again recently. I suggested it to my wife and she loved it from the beginning. She actually didn't fall asleep in this one, so I am proud. I know you guys are too.
Um, but yeah, uh, I mean, I don't actually have a lot to talk about this week. Have you got anything?
I,
Anything?
I actually have a few things. So, of my DM in one of my D&D games that I play in, told me that they are officially making a live action One Piece.
Ugh.
And I am so afraid yet so excited at the same time. So it's being produced or directed by the actual creator of One Piece.
Like, um, other son has got that just time, but I don't
Yeah,
I don't
so
know because anime live action movies are always kind of trash.
yeah, so I mean, it comes with a bad repertoire, especially referring to Black Note, Bleach, and all of those that had.
Uh,
I don't know if they're making a movie or a series, particularly, but I know Ichiro Oda. I might be butchering his name, and I honestly feel sorry.
yeah.
Has stated that he'll be a producer and I think a director for the whatever's being released.
Of episode one, it's called Romance Dawn, so
Seems to be a series.
it's a series. But still, and I've got another thing that I'll bring up in a second.
And Wallow in chat, the greatest power is knowledge. John Wick, I agree, proceeds to feed someone a great Gatsby.
Um, so I I'm very skeptical of live action anime movies because they tend to lean so heavily. Okay, shonen and seinen manga or anime getting turned into live action, I'm always very hesitant because they have to lean on such heavy VFX to get it right. Like Netflix is also bringing out a Cowboy Bebop
Live action.
live action, but I've seen the cast and I know the story of Cowboy Bebop, and it can be told, it can be done in a way that doesn't require a lot of CGI. I mean, like the spaceships and stuff like that. Yeah, of course, they're gonna have to uh, do the CGI for, but it's not like whenever somebody uses Gamu Gamu no whatever, they don't need to CGI the dude's arm.
Yeah,
Uh,
so this is going to be an extremely heavy, and I'm glad they're going with a series rather than a movie because a movie is
oh,
forced
uh,
to run
dude,
through a lot of information.
yeah, and with the, I mean, now on Wano, they're on, I think it's chapter. Let me check.
I think they're nearing the thousands. They're on
No,
950
they're not.
something.
Chapter 1024.
Jesus, I'm so behind. That is
I've
insane.
read 10 volumes of that, so we can say maybe 100 chapters. Maybe.
I have watched through about 700 episodes of One Piece. I know for a fact while the Black Leg and Chat can definitely beat me in that. Um, but I'm about 750 episodes in. And what I'm hoping that they're managing to do is where they see that they created filler episodes throughout the series and the manga and so forth, that they're willing to put those aside while doing the creation of something like this. Because it could create the same situation where people tend to drone out of watching it.
Wano Country, 101 episodes, so 90, 8, 9, 90, 991 episodes.
That's not bad.
That's pretty bad. I think I might, when I eventually have some time, just sit and read through One Piece.
Yeah, so Wallow in chat saying he's very nervous about live action One Piece. It would have to be incredible CGI heavy. So if they don't stick the landing on that, it's gonna sink. No, I
But
definitely agree. Luckily, there are some characters that aren't,
okay, but
ability based.
if we look at just this, the thing that you have, the
The
image that
image,
you have up there, they have to do CGI on three of those characters, and that's it.
and that's
And
the three at the back.
it took so long for Brooke and what's the robot's name?
Frankie.
And Frankie to appear that, I mean, Romance Dawn was, I I think, um, only um, Zoro and Nami,
Yeah,
and it took. Oh no, yeah, and the length of time between each character that they're gonna be 10 seasons in before they get to uh, Tony even.
so again, that's dependent on what they do. So, as I said, if they choose to cut out some of the stuff, as long as they don't cut out a lot of important things,
But that's the problem is, without cutting out a lot of important things, the series, it's gonna be 20 seasons worth of one show, and anime fans are very different to typical TV watchers in that they will keep coming back every week. Typical TV watchers will just drop a show, and if Netflix sees any like abandonment of their show, they're gonna drop funding, and so I think that this is going to be an exercise in futility.
yeah. So for me, it's I'm nervous. Like Wallow in chat said, I'm also nervous on what they do. But if they rush through important things and they just glance over to skip past it, that sort of thing tends to phase people out of interest. If you
Yeah, and
just
it's
bring
gonna piss
important
off
things,
your core
yeah,
fandom.
exactly. But a lot of stuff that, like for instance, that occurs of traveling between a point A and point B, not much interest occurs during those times.
Mm. And
So
look again, it was 100 chapters before they got to the Grand Line.
yeah,
So if they're going to try and do each island justice, it's gonna be difficult. And
I think we can all agree that there are a few islands that they can just skip. They're still
I
gonna have Chopper stand next to Zora and not look like baby's first
first
iMovie
island.
tutorial. Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
But I don't think, honestly, I don't think that One Piece is gonna work as a live action show. It didn't work with Bleach. It didn't work
I
with
think you see that's
any
the thing is I think everything has a bad repertoire at the moment.
Reputation.
Everything, all of it, everything that no matter what the series is about, no matter if it's moved from anime to live action, I mean, people already tend to hate it before it even exists.
Well, I mean,
So
that's why I brought up Cowboy Bebop, because that seems to have people kind of hyped for it, because I mean, they've got let me just get uh live action. Uh, okay, no, this is just about the character. This is also a series, but so John Cho, Spike, Mustafa Shakir. It's a lot. There's especially them having John Cho as the main character has got me kind of hot, but it's also very much in this instance solely. Um, it doesn't have these big set pieces like the islands and the fish people and shit like Scarpia, all of these, or Punk Hazard, and all these islands that have got characters that are so far removed from reality that it's going to be very difficult for them to get this right.
Well, again, it depends on how much are they willing to throw at it to get
But
it right.
that's the thing is, no amount of money you throw at something can make bad CGI look good.
And
And
again, it you can always, as long as you can afford good CGI. We've seen a
but
lot of good CGI in terms of
but
American based.
we have to remember who's doing this. It's Netflix. They are very happy to just cancel stuff. So I think if anything, we'll get one, maybe two seasons, and then it gets cancelled. But
Don't be dumbing down on my dreams, man.
dude, I'm being realistic. And also, one of the another major concern is the fact that um and trust me to make something great. God, I hope it's okay. So Keegan in the chat, but since Oda is involved, I'd put down my pitchfork and trust that man to make something great. God, I hope it's okay. But
So
and another black mark against it. Sorry, though.
no
Another
worries.
black mark against it is that Oda's art is so iconic. It is so. It is something like very specific to him. It's the same as the art from Naruto or Bleach or My Hero. You know, it's hard to remove in a medium like manga or medium like anime to remove the art style from the story.
Yeah, so I'm going through some of the cast that they have here. So I mean, they've got Zolo Barendena, sure, LA-born Californian actor going as Monkey D. Luffy. But
Okay,
then,
wait. Can you send
so let me send you the link.
please? I wanna see how terrible this is gonna be.
Actually, not like by what I'm seeing, I don't. Some of these
Just
people I don't know about. I know McKenyu was, as they say here, was in Pacific Rim Uprising. Yeah, he's going to be Rona.
just say Zoro, dude. It's so much easier.
Yeah, just my fucking. I don't know why I go to full bullshit whenever it comes to a Sunday.
I
Gonna be
don't know.
Zoro. So some of these people, then out of nowhere, wrong killings. The wrestler being all along. It's just like at some point you decide, okay, good character, good character. What the fuck is this? I mean, Taylor Kinney they've got down as Captain Smoker.
Uh,
Taylor Kinney being from Vampire Diaries, Chicago PD, Chicago Fire, and so forth.
I think this might be a fan cast, hey?
Not on IMDb,
My
it isn't.
my fan made cast right at the top.
Oh, this hurts my feelings. Ignore everything that was just here for the past 10 minutes. I can't read.
Um, but yeah, I don't know, cause like if this was real, I'd be very worried because here
Yeah.
they've got Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, V who, I mean, I guess it depends on if you're looking at uh, the Baroque Works arc or if it's after that when she becomes a. Oh wait, oh you don't care about spoilers. When she becomes a straw hat,
Yeah.
Nico only becomes a straw hat much later, though she is introduced fairly early. Ace was introduced fairly late. Uh,
Well, I mean, if some of these people were actually just the choices, some of them are not bad. Okay, except for they've got Wilma Valderrama as Red Hair Shanks, actor from that 70s show.
yeah, that's not no.
And they've got Vince Vaughn as Ben Beckman. Oh, some of these. Oh, Brock Lesnar as Axe Hand Morgan. Okay, no, this is hurting my soul to. Okay, I'm not watching any
The,
fan
the, the,
base.
the further you go, the worse
Yeah.
it becomes.
So, Wallow in chat says we are talking about Oda here. That man has been working 15 hours a day, 7 days a week for the last 2 decades. That isn't even and it isn't even crunch time.
But I don't know about the 15 hours a day, 7 days a week, because he's got a big team behind him to produce One Piece, because it's Shonen Jump's biggest it's the biggest thing that they have on their roster. So they're gonna keep throwing money at Oda to produce One Piece and to do it well. because, and I don't think he's ever taken a major break. Like every single manga I decide to get into takes a huge break.
But again, it also comes down to having the creator themselves be involved in something makes a big difference in terms
Look,
of
I'm
of,
still so
of choice.
I'm still so skeptical. I'll watch, I'll watch it when it releases. I don't.
So for a person like you, I think wait for the reviews rather. You can watch the reviews, but for
Well,
someone like me and Keegan, I think or Wallow in chat, that's definitely an episode we want to watch to see how they go.
I know I'm gonna watch it. Look, I'll start watching it.
Whether you finish or not is a problem.
Yeah, it's a different story altogether. Um, but
Well,
yeah.
talking about live action,
Oh god, what now?
another live action has been
This
announced.
okay, so this is a bit of a weird one for me because um Christopher Lloyd was Doc Brown. The original Rick and Morty, before it got picked up by Adult Swim and is the Rick and Morty we know now, Rick was a very cheap ripoff
Of Doc
of
Brown.
Brown. So this has basically just come full circle.
It's Back to the Future with a little less, you know, adult, father alliance scenarios, and you know what, if it can happen, let it fucking happen, sort of
Look,
situation.
I'm still not entirely convinced that this is real because this is the type of thing that um, that Adult Swim would pull. They would make a trailer, and then in 2 months it's just going to be like, we were, they're not, they're known for being for fucking around. So I can imagine that they are fucking around here. I'm not fully invested. I don't think it's real.
So let's see. Wallow Blackleg in chat, bruh, stop doxing me. Connor, I think he's talking to you.
I think he might be. You see, the only reason he's saying I'm doxing because he understands and he knows that there's some truth to my words.
You see, when it comes to live action remakes, it depends on one if you are willing to go through the effort. I know there's a lot of anime made live actions that me myself have just decided, fuck it, I'm not gonna even try, because I've already seen the reviews on it and don't even care.
How about we go onto Netflix? Uh, we'll set a date, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we can go into Netflix and we can see all the live action that is there. And you and I can watch all the movies, and then when we're done, you tell me whether or not you still believe that there's gonna be
I
further.
so as a fan of One Piece, I believe that with having Oda in on the team, it has a possibility. Same with Rick and Morty. I mean, just having Christopher Lloyd there. Yes, I'm excited. I would like to. Also having Jaden Martell as Morty, being included in the film. You know, everyone knows him from It Chapter 1, It Chapter 2.
That's another big worry. Same as with I'll get to the name now. One Piece, the live action One Piece. It's a similar thing where there's some crazy shit that happens in Rick and Morty, and I don't know if they can pull off because the gore is funny in Rick and Morty,
Yeah.
but that would be utterly horrifying in live action.
Are you really going to show a 7-year-old Rick and Morty, Connor?
No, no, but I'm saying that me as somebody who can't really handle intense gore, watching Rick and Morty, they can make it comical, but that being real is going to be heavy.
Well, I mean, as long as they continue with making it comical, it shouldn't be as bad. Making a funny horror movie is still better to watch.
We will see. We will see when it releases. If okay, no, not when it releases. If it releases.
Well, for those of you who have no high hopes, like Connor, I hope you guys get it wrong.
You see, the thing is that I keep. The thing is, for me personally, I keep the bar as low as possible. so that I'm never surprised. I'm just, I'm never like disappointed. I'm only pleasantly I'm either right or I'm pleasantly surprised.
And you have me that's going to be the guy telling you how wrong you are.
Dude, it's worked for the last 20 something years. It's gonna keep working.
Dude, you're 26. Calm down.
Yeah, and I've maintained that my whole life.
Having a low bar. I don't think that's
Have
something
a,
everyone needs to know about, Connor. There were so many things I have on this, and I'm afraid I click on one and not a lot to actually talk about. Okay, well, since I'm bringing up this image, why the fuck not? Let me close the ones I've already used. Sims 4 is getting a new release, or not a new release, another DLC
live
being
action
released.
adaptation.
Yeah, no, live action series, Connor, series. No, they're getting for all of those Sims lovers out there. There is a new DLC being released. Uh, now the way they worded it, it's the barista pack. So for
Oh,
any of you,
it's not a.
it's a DLC added onto it. Yeah, it's not at all a pack added on. So for any of you who are excited for Sims and want to be a barista in a game, there's some news for you. Don't know how far you wanted to take that.
I'm looking for it, but I can't find it. Sims 4, Sims. Um, Sims Mobile. Trader Joe's Espresso Bar. No idea. I'll take your word on it.
I will.
Hello?
I am here.
Okay, cool.
I'm trying to see this. I cannot find out. I think it was actually. I'm gonna do this way. Makes my life a lot easier. Any other news you might have heard of? I know there's another thing we really want to talk about. Another release or something that has been released recently that's definitely got your go
Well,
ahead.
uh, I mean, Jason Momoa showed off his new Aquaman DCEU movie.
He did.
Yeah, I mean,
You're not a Jason Momoa fan. That's fine. You're not
no,
a
no, I am a
DC.
Jason Momoa fan.
Are
That
you
man,
though?
that man. But it's because it's DC that I'm kind of about it.
Look, for one thing, I've enjoyed Jason or the Aquaman release because it's actually not, and I know it's a joke around the internet about DC movies. It's
It's
not
not.
as dark. They actually included a lot of CGI and a lot of bright colors, so it makes it a lot more enjoyable to watch.
There's a new James Bond trailer.
Wow, another one, really?
Look, at some point I am gonna watch through all, um, the James Bond movies. There's a new season of What We Do in the Shadow. Pretty dope. Oh yes, the Wheel of Time.
The Wheel of Time.
The Wheel of Time. It is one of the biggest. Like it's a huge fantasy series. It was written by Robert Jordan, and then after he passed, it was given to Brandon Sanderson, who's one of the most famous fantasy writers to complete. It is beloved by many. I know people who have read this 12-book series multiple times, and it's not 12 books. It's 12 books. And Amazon is releasing a series. I watched the trailer. It looks dope. I might give it a reread again now as well. I'll just have to buy all of the books.
Would you like to explain what the Wheel of Time is?
I cannot condense it, dude. It's 12. It's 12 like 1,000-page books.
What is the synopsis of the entire series books?
So there is the big bad guy, the dark one, who is going to fight the dragon, who is you. The dragon gets reborn every time it dies. So the dragon is a person, and they've got a connection to this. They can connect to the magic that runs through the world, and men typically can't use the magic, and then there's women who can, and it's all about this the latest iteration of the dragon becoming the hero essentially.
So I just want to go back to chat. Well, the black lady in chat says you're gonna force Dill to watch the entire live action anime adaptations on Netflix. I'm calling the police.
Well, I'm
Someone
feeling
has my goodwill in mind. My my
I
long live.
effectively live with you. I don't. I can say for certain I don't.
You live upstairs. It's far enough.
Yes, but I still effectively live with you. It's no. And that won't end.
Uh,
Uh,
so other than The Sims and Spider-Man, release of the Eternals trailer, a second release occurred in August, and I know that's again another thing that's been having. You've been having quite an orgasmic month, haven't you?
dude, with the problem is that it's all foreplay.
All
Because
edging, but no conclusion.
exactly because the Shang-Chi trailer. I haven't watched the second trailer. I've watched a lot of the TV spots, which I've forced myself to stop doing. I can't go and watch the movie, and then we've gotten the Eternals trailer and the No Way Home trailer, and it all looks so good, and I can't actively consume any of it.
So we've done a podcast on a discussion of the excitement coming forth from Phase 4. But I think it's going to be quite a while until we get to do a full review on Phase 4.
Oh
So
no, no, it is.
I think you have quite a lot of fun ahead of you, especially with how
So
long it takes to release.
if we look at phase four, because I mean, we've got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 movies in phase four. The second last one has got a 2023 release date.
Oh, if you don't like 2023, Connor, I think I'm about to ruin your day.
Why? Why? You said you hinted at something. I think it was last night.
No, it was before this, and luckily you weren't at your computer when I was busy looking for the images to put up.
What are you gonna what? Tell me.
Loki season 2 release has been pushed back to 2023 as they're in the efforts of looking for a new director.
Look, I can wait. I can wait for Loki. I'm very keen on the shows that they're bringing out, and I think that will be able
Sustain you.
to sustain me until Loki season 2. Because I mean, just on the TV series, we've still got the rest of What If, and I mean, I've been enjoying What If, though it's a bit weird because some of the What If episodes are some of them that have been released have been great, and then there's like the latest one which I'm a bit on. Um, but
I think that's definitely a podcast we can have, especially on your views of What If and
have you watched any of it yet?
no, but it is a plan of a possibility
You
for
you
me.
have them. I know for a fact that they're sitting on your computer.
No, I
But after
definitely
What
have
If,
them.
I mean, in November we're gonna get Hawkeye. After that, Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Secret Invasion, Ironheart, and Armor Wars. So I think that paired with the movies that we've got coming, which
I think the
I can't go and
massive
watch any of them.
I think the massive
Uh,
drawback for this is the excitement of what it left you on. There might be a few unhappy spoilers or exciting spoilers or theories that might come to light between Multiverse of Madness and Quantum Realm and so forth.
well, look, as far as that goes, because we know the end of Loki was Kang.
Yes.
Yeah, it was Kang all along. Um, but we've got okay. So No Way Home, I don't think it's going to deal too much with um
The full multiverse.
the full multiverse. It's going to be, as most Spider-Man movies are, they're focused on Peter,
Yeah.
and it's a story about him. It's not a story about or the stuff that's happening around him. Where I think Multiverse of Madness and uh, Quantum Mania are going to be very much about that last, the ending scene in Loki, where you see the timeline splitting and like spider webbing around each other.
Yeah, and then you
I,
eventually get the actual full statue of Kang the
well, then when it
Conqueror.
comes back and it's Kang. I mean,
Yes.
he's got the Kang outfit.
Yes.
It's Kang the Conqueror. So I think that we're going to see a lot more of that in the Doctor Strange and the Ant-Man movies. Uh, yeah, I'm okay with waiting for Loki, because that just means that they want to do what they did for the first season, which is very important to me, because Loki meant as
So
much as
all I can say for August so far is they've released three big parts, being the Shang-Chi trailer and the movie being one, Far From Home, you
two.
know, two, or Far From Home trailer being released, and the second release of the Eternals trailer from Marvel fans, from those in chat who I know love Marvel, like Wallo and Talora and so forth. I know, absolutely obsessed. Even though it was a lot of excitement being released, I know Shang-Chi technically released in September, the movie, but you
Mm-mm.
know, on Friday,
Release Friday.
this past
It's
Friday,
September.
Connor, welcome.
Oh, we are doing this episode a week late.
Not necessarily, because again, you can't review an entire month if the month isn't over. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I think the biggest bunch of information. I mean, the first potluck that we spoke about was quite a lot of information being released around, not necessarily in July, but also before July, because it's our first potluck. But now that we've spoken about majority of it, all that is left is everything that is being released the following month, if not 1 or 2 months, maybe afterwards. I know come December, maybe we could have a bigger discussion when the full Steam Deck gets released and people get theirs and reviews start coming out. So,
Uh, but there's also some really cool Marvel comics that are coming out, which seem to be kind of MCU adjacent. Like there's Secret War has been whispered about in the MCU for a bit, and we're now getting Reckoning War, which is the sequel to Secret Wars in the comics, which was big. And I don't know, just everything around the MCU is shaping up to be awesome. Like, truly mind-bogglingly awesome. And I'm happy to be in it.
I think another exciting thing that everyone's wanting to know of what they're going to do would be Black Panther Wakanda Forever,
Wow.
especially
And
after
the
Chadwick.
Wakanda, mm, the TV series that's coming out,
Yeah. So I think
because
a lot of big things are coming, but because of obviously everything that's happened with the past year or so, a lot of it has taken a slow roll. But now it seems like everything's slowly starting to pick up, which is exciting. I mean, Marvel's starting to get back up on their feet and being able to do what they, do best and produce and
well,
release and
I
stuff like that.
think looking at it through that lens, um, the the fact that they released Black Widow, which seems to be the weakest movie, um, might be a good thing that they released that first.
Well, I don't know. I think it's if it had a better light on it, it could have been a different story.
Yeah.
Obviously, knowing the fight between Scarlett Johansson and Disney Plus for the releasing of the film, but I think now that everyone's being able to go watch movies, obviously still following restrictions and so forth, there is still a lot of excitement to come.
Mm.
A
No, very
random
much
hand
so.
appears.
Random hand. Random rand.
Random rand.
Uh,
Steph, if you're listening,
she's not.
where's my cell phone?
Don't know, we're in the middle of a podcast.
I will get you licked, young man.
But other than that, I don't think there's anything dying to talk about.
No, I think like a lot of releases in terms of games and series and stuff like that,
We
they
are
kind of get done or released or spoken about early on in the year. So
all
the end
like
of the year is mostly focusing around cinematics.
I think this month we might have or next end of this month's potluck we might have some stuff because I mean it's the PlayStation conference and there's and we'll be able to speak about Shang-Chi and stuff like that. So there's cool stuff happening, just none of it that we're really able to speak about now.
Yeah,
Because
because
we don't
it's sort of
view.
yeah, because I think it's sort of stuck on the the small bit tidbit of information has been released, but not a full story of is it being released, what's happening with it, sort of situation. So it's a lot like the Rick and Morty being a teaser trailer being dropped of the live action news of the One Piece live action being released. There hasn't been enough information following it. So
And I mean like American Horror Story double feature just started.
for any of those who are interested,
Steph's been speaking about wanting to watch through it all, so we might
yeah,
do
I'm just
that.
gonna skip the clown episodes because
So
that
an
was
entire season.
yeah, no, definitely.
Uh, and
That
again,
one
I
fucked
guess
me up.
one thing we can speak about is Fear Street.
Yeah, so it was Connor's wife's birthday very recently, being Thursday. Being
Oh, this
Thursday.
week.
This past Thursday, yeah. And we decided we're going to spend some time watching movies, all of us, and we decided to watch Fear Street, 1994 and
1976.
76, yeah. And then we still have to watch the last one of 1666. But it's, for those of you who don't know, it's also part of what could be part of the previous podcast on the horror side. It's a 3-movie slasher,
Paranormal.
paranormal slasher, horror movie. For those who are interested, it gets into the blood, guts, and glory very fucking quickly.
Yeah.
But they all movies that follow each other. They're very, it's very well done. Yeah.
No, it is excellent, and I'm quite keen to watch the third one.
Yeah. Are you gonna stay awake this time?
Dude, Steph fell asleep, Keegan fell asleep, Courtney fell asleep, and I fell asleep. You're the only one who
How Steph wasn't asleep? Was Steph asleep?
fell asleep.
For fuck's sakes, I'm the only one that watched it. I do nice things for you guys. I hope you guys recognize
You're
this.
on your phone.
Yeah, I still watched the entire fucking movies.
Yeah, so we are gonna. I'm actually contemplating watching through part 2 tomorrow.
78.
78 again. Yeah, just because I mean it's cool. It's as we discussed last week, I'm not a horror fan. So
I don't know. So yeah, I'm not a massive horror fan myself. But it was one I could enjoy. Another recommendation we can make from last week is this is one that if you don't enjoy horrors, it's not so
not heavy horror.
Yeah, it's not heavy spook. It's just gory and.
But it's not. It's again. It's not as bad as like body horror movies.
No, I mean a chick does get her head sliced open by a bread slicer, if that helps. And then you watch the one sister get murdered with an axe in the chest.
Yeah, that was.
And the other one's being stabbed in the lungs.
I woke up as she was getting her chest caved in, and I was like, I'm just gonna sleep again.
Yeah. So see, I did watch the movie. There was a lot to it.
So I'm gonna go watch it tomorrow, and look, it is. It's something that I could very easily recommend as a non-horror. It was decent. It was fun.
So throwing it to Chad, any news of upcoming releases or any pop culture news that you guys have heard of recently? By all means, put it in chat. thank you, Walla, for being extremely involved. That's a lot of messages.
It's a lot of messages.
And yes, thank you again, Keegan, for being on my side. We will watch One Piece live together, and we will then decide whether we are bad people or not.
Spoiler alert, you are bad people.
No, that's for different reasons, though, so it's okay.
Oh no, yeah, it's got nothing to do with One Piece. You're just bad people.
And yet you stay around.
Yeah, of course, nobody else will love me.
Love you.
Yeah, love me. You guys love me, don't you?
So, next topic. So I wanted to go back to the Eternals release, the Eternals trailer, and so I had the comment in mind. What was Angelina Jolie doing since what was the last movie she was put in versus the Eternals? But actually, I watched the Eternals. I don't know much about the Eternals per se, but watching the trailer, and for all of those who aren't massive Marvel fans, who know a lot of the history about it, it is definitely something you will still enjoy.
Oh no, it looks dope. If you are an MC, so if we make the delineation between a comic fan and MCU fan, it's going to tie in well because I mean we've seen Celestials before, and now we're getting to see the Eternals, and these aren't, granted, they're not the first Eternals we've ever seen, and it's not going to be the first Celestials we've ever seen either, because Thanos was an Eternal. He was a child of the well, he wasn't a child of the Celestials, but he was one of the Eternals.
I didn't know this.
And I mean, what was his name? The planet that was Peter Quill's dad?
Ego.
Ego was a Celestial. Nowhere, where the Collector's Vault is.
Yeah,
situated.
the massive skull of
Yeah,
a celestial that they live in.
Of a Celestial. So, it's this. So, like I was speaking with the last one, where, like, oh, there's this. It's pretty crazy, right? And then it gets bigger. Now it's like, oh, we've got giant, immortal beings who have been around since the creation of the universe, who can literally do whatever the fuck they want at any given time. They make Thanos look like a little bitch baby. That's kind of crazy, right?
And they get killed by Groot pushing a button.
No, but I think there's a lot of theories coming from the trailer, but I'm going to withhold all my theories, as I always do. I'm gonna just go watch the movie.
I don't know, like theories away for me again, not knowing too much about the comic side of the Eternals and Celestials and so forth. Being just a Marvel fan, I could see from, I mean, just looking at the poster that they've put up that's on screen at the moment, it is amazing. It looks fantastic. The CGI alone in the movie was, beautiful. So
I appreciate what they do with, it's not like heavy magic CGI. It's like when, shit, what's his name?
You got to give a bit more details than what's his name.
Chris, Gilgamesh, Jack, Fastos. When he's like in the ship and you can see he's like turning his hand and you see all those rings.
Yeah.
And I just really, really dig how they're dealing with the magic in this. It's not overblown and like big stuff. I just think that this movie is going to be amazing.
And for all of you who have watched Shang-Chi, I will post Connor's personal cell phone number out so that you guys can message him directly with all the spoilers you want, because he's not a spoiler fan.
Please don't.
Please don't ruin it for me.
I
No.
want to go into it as blind as possible.
No, I think that might be something we watch very soon, but I'm excited, especially with the start of Phase 4.
We're just ignoring the other Phase 4 movie.
I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about?
I'm on the wrong panel here. I need to go to the right panel so that I can search. Um.
Don't know what you're talking about, Con. There was no release. Well,
Uh,
Shang-Chi's the first.
oh yes, I wanted to just also have a look again at Phase 4 so I can scream. Yeah, Shang-Chi's the first. It was Endgame and then now just Shang-Chi.
So we're definitely going with skipping that one here.
So we've actually got four, uh, four Marvel movies coming out just this year.
Yeah, so I see we have Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man. Those are the only movies being released this year.
Yeah, and then Love and Thunder is May 6th.
Doctor Strange also in 2022. Black
Oh,
Panther
okay.
following that.
Doctor Strange, Thor, and then Black Panther, and then the Marvel. So it looks like they're doing 4 a year.
Which is still it's on par with what Marvel does. They like to leave you on a bit of a taste for about 2-3 months. Kind of blue
Yeah.
ball you on the
And they're
next
like,
one.
okay, here's the next one.
Yeah, when you're
And
itching for a fix and you're on the verge of storming the castle so that you could get your hands on the tape,
uh,
they're like,
but
okay, here you can have it.
I hope that with things slowly returning to normal, we can get back to regular release schedules and actually, going and seeing movies
Well, I mean,
and
I think
reacting to this kind of.
release their focus on release it all situates around them doing well in box office. I mean, that's how production companies focus. They focus on how many people watch it when it's released, how much money they make, and so forth. So obviously, we understand that during the pandemic and stuff like that, it was very difficult. But at the same time, we too were in the point of there was nothing else to do. So can you guys help us release a little bit? Give
Just a
us
little bit.
something
I mean, they have been pretty good with the
with the series so far.
that we've gotten, and you just need to watch What If, please, so we can.
Yes. Now we can discuss. I don't know how many episodes are left of What If to be
Uh,
released.
there's 5 left
Okay,
because there's only
that's
4 out. So I've you can go and watch the first 4.
no, that's
Oh wait,
fine.
wait. Before I put in my mouth. Um, episode. Yes, there's 4 episodes out. So go and watch.
I'm just trying to figure out where on Earth it is.
But go and watch them, please, and then we'll have a conversation about that at some point. But I don't know. Have you got anything else that you want to talk about?
I only have 3 What Ifs at the moment. Just saying. No. So for me, I think throwing in a bit more than Marvel is kind of a good point, but at the same time pointless when it comes down to the end of the year. I mean, outside of the PlayStation
Like PlayStation Expos this
expos and
month.
stuff like that. Yeah, outside of those, the big expos, there's not much being discussed
No,
outside of cinematography and especially Marvel because in this day and age, Marvel is one of the top releasing for
yeah,
cinematography.
no. Marvel is very much they're keeping on the ball. Though I guess like there's other stuff that's sort of tangential to what we do and stuff that I've kind of had a look at but haven't really taken a deep dive into. So I think uh yeah, I'm done. I've been so like off of the pop culture pulse this month.
Yeah, I think it's also been a long month in terms of any form of release. I mean, it's just been excitement on as we've spoken about the Shang-Chi releases and
That's like having Marvel is awesome, but it does sort of eclipse other stuff because
yeah.
you're so focused on when's the Spider-Man trailer coming out? When is the next Marvel movie? When's the next Marvel TV series? That you kind of lose sight of all the other cool stuff that's happening.
I will say I'll plug someone else's podcast here that I've really been enjoying Markiplier's podcast, Distractable. So for anyone else out there who might enjoy it, go listen to that. It's a whole bunch of fun. That's my assignment. It's been work and listening to that podcast, sort of thing. So
then if we're plugging podcasts, go listen to Trash Taste with T-Dog VA, Giguk, and the Anime Man, because that's just good.
That's just for you. So if anyone else wants a plug, by all means, we're okay with this.
Yeah. And getting onto plugs, since we're kind of winding down the episode, I'm going to shamelessly plug us. You can go find us on Twitter at Absolute Buggery, capital A, capital B, and YouTube's the same. Go follow us there, and you can. I handle the Twitter, so if you've got a problem or if you want to shout at me about anything, do it there.
Yeah. So if you have any things you want to mention, things you want to discuss, any comments you want to make it on Twitter, make it on YouTube. We do get the notifications. We're more than happy to tell you whether your opinion is wrong, or still wrong, or even more wrong, unless it's the same as ours. But
Oh, you've got a differing opinion. You're wrong.
You have opinion? No, you're
No,
not allowed that.
I genuinely, I like fighting about
Fucking
my-
hell, your wife in those ears, dude. Again. No,
That's-
so another.
Sometimes you in your ears.
Again, it's the. No, I'm
Come
not
say
watching.
hello-
I
come
can't
say
watch
hello.
fucking. I can't watch fucking horror movies. So I don't-
We're just speaking about Fear Street.
How's that?
It's pretty good.
and how all of you slept and I didn't.
God, Bill saying about how all of us slept. Because I said you fell asleep at one point. I fell
But I
asleep.
kept coming in and out of consciousness. I was sort of similar to Keegan in that I
Oh,
kept
I was
waking
also-
up when.
Oh, but then again, it's unfair. Your wife has seen all three of the movies,
Oh, no,
so
she-
that's
she has.
fine.
You can't sleep in on her own.
Alright.
Bye. But yeah, I think I'm good. I've screamed about what I wanted to scream about.
I think one thing I want to add, every now and then we might throw in a random gaming stream.
Yeah. I'm
we
keen to do
are-
more-
Yeah, we're hard. So if you want to go watch Connor on his own stream, Kazmadan, you can follow him on Twitter, on Twitch.
H-A-S-M-O-D-A-N, Kazmadan. It's me.
KHA,
H-A-S-M-O-D-A-N.
that one. You can follow him on Twitch. He does coding, he does games, he does shit he enjoys. But at the same time, we are on a path to affiliate and eventually path to partner on Twitch. We are working very hard and trying to get that done.
So if you guys tell your friends as well, let them know that they should come and watch us.
This week's podcast episode is us plugging ourselves so that you guys could help us become better
Yes.
us.
Yes.
We'll talk
We'll
about
never
Marvel for for about an hour and then plug
I-
ourselves for about another half. That was
I
also
think that-
creepy. Jesus.
It's a potluck where we speak about Marvel and speak about ourselves.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun. I mean, we do a whole bunch of stuff outside of this podcast. We play games. A lot of our friends in chat, Waller Blackleg being one of them, and our wives, respectively, get involved too. So, yeah, if you guys can help us out, send some love to anyone.
Love our way.
Yeah, love our way, so we can get some. We are striving for a path to affiliate. I think it's our first big step. But we're slowly making it. I think how long have we been doing this, Con?
Early. We've been doing it. I think a little. This is the 6th.
This is
episode,
way more than 6, dude.
right? Well, this is 7, 8. So we've been doing this for 2 months.
We have been streaming every Saturday or every weekend for 8 weeks, for 2 months. That is big. That is long. That's the longest I have gone.
Doing anything.
Well,
Except for D&D. We did D&D for Solid Team.
I'm just trying to find us on YouTube. Oh, there we are. Yeah, 7th episode. This will be our 8th episode.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And we've been we've been given a lot of love, so we appreciate all of you. Thank you guys very much. But I think that's it from me.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to Marvel say? Say.
No. I've yelled. I screamed. I made my point.
You popped the boner. Yeah, got so angry, popped the boner. It's okay. But no, thank you guys very much for watching. It's been a bit of a slow episode, but next week it's going to catch up again. We're going to be Marvel Phase 2, have another guest, or our previous guest.
It's Talora.
It's Talora. It is our in-house Marvel fan, comic fan, all of the fan in terms of Marvel related. Talora will be back next week, Phase 2, in-depth discussion, bit more of a program, if I can put it that way, or a platform to work on in terms of our discussion.
Yeah.
So, but again, thank you guys very much for watching.
Thank you.
We've been absolute buggery.
And we've had opinions
about Marvel.
Which are right on Marvel.
Cheers, Con.
Bye.
Bye.